National development is synonymous with human development, and the development of youth is an integral part of this process. The government of Guyana embraces this responsibility and continually invests in youths by providing opportunities for them to attain quality education, boost their skill sets, and provide an enabling environment for entrepreneurship and investment. Through the Ministry of the Presidency, Department of Youth, the government has built capacity to implement several programs geared towards the development of youth in various sectors. In his most recent address to the National Assembly on October 18, 2018, President David Granger reminded that youth is a priority on his executive's agenda.
Youth unemployment, when my government assumed office, was pervasive and persistent. A Caribbean Development Bank study dated May 2015 and entitled "Youth Are the Future: The Implications of Youth Employment for Sustainable Employment in the Caribbean" estimated Guyana's youth unemployment rate at 40%. A recent labor force survey found that 35.2% of our young people aged between 15 and 24 years were not in education, not in employment, and not in training. Mr. Speaker, your government has launched a number of initiatives aimed at stimulating employment, including youth employment, through the promotion of entrepreneurship, self-employment, and skills training.
The President further articulated that opportunities are also being provided for hinterland youth in far-flung communities to benefit and to contribute to nation building. The Hinterland Employment Youth Service HAYS provides Indigenous youth with opportunities to acquire income-earning skills. A total of 3,941 youth between the ages of 18 and 35 benefit from this program, which has created 2,051 businesses over the past 2 years. President Granger noted also that the government has provided community skills training in various technical areas. Added to that is the Youth Entrepreneurial Skills Training Program. Since September 2017, the program has trained an additional 721 youths attached to the Sophia, Kurukuru, and Environments Urban Training Centers. Additionally, this year the Department of Youth hosted its first National Youth Conference, which brought together 300 youth from across all 10 administrative regions to engage firsthand with policymakers and contributors to national development. Several of the recommendations that developed from the forum will be given consideration by various subject ministers. The Department of Youth also hosted the first National Youth Business Summit on May 23 to 24, which provided a hub for young entrepreneurs to start or expand their own businesses. It successfully executed the Youth Innovation Project, literacy and numeracy workshops, trained young people in the area of agro-processing, administered night schools, the President's Youth Award Republic of Guyana program, collaborated with STEM Guyana on a venture to train out-of-school youth in robotics, and successfully executed leadership camps. Director of Youth, Ms. Melissa Carmichael, says that the Department of Youth has a primary goal to empower young people so that they can make meaningful contributions in their communities and in the wider society.
The Department of Youth is mandated to provide activities, programming, initiatives that seeks to empower young people to in turn have them make meaningful contributions to their communities, youth organizations, and wherever they are placed. If we have been following His Excellency and other government ministers, more so the Honorable Minister of Social Cohesion, Dr. George Norton, we would know by now that the government of Guyana is interested in the empowerment and development of its young people, and they have been putting monies into various sectors, various ministries and agencies to develop programs and initiatives for young people. So the drive or the focus really is to have young people either become entrepreneurs or to educate, to train, to ensure that they can access job opportunities within the relevant market. 23-year-old Miss Malika Russell of Kukwani, Upper Demerara, Berbice,
Region 10, who is a beneficiary of the Youth Innovation Project of Guyana, was keen to share how it has helped her to develop her business idea.
It's actually a good opportunity for us, and it gives us an idea that the ministry, the Department of Youth actually cares. So next year coming, we will use that same opportunity to push for others to actually benefit from the Youth Innovation Project. What we're trying to do is we're trying to work with sorrel. As it is currently, sorrel is only found on the local market in its natural state. However, we want to try to add value to sorrel. Now, what we're trying to do is make a sorrel powder out of the sorrel. Now, it's like the regular Tandy or Maxi that you could find on the market, but what it is and what makes the difference is that it's going to be a local product, and it's going to be produced by us youths, and it's going to help to boost our economy in terms of making money for our community. So as it is, again, we're just in its initial stage. We're trying to develop the product. Once the product is there and well established, we will be looking at markets regionally, and also we'll try to see if we can also tap into export. So all in all, we can contribute to national development when it comes to sorrel and its production.
The Ministry of Social Protection has also been working closely with vulnerable and at-risk youth with the view of helping them become productive members of society. Chief Executive Officer of the Ministry's Board of Industrial Training, Mr. Richard Mon, said that under the National Training Project for Youth Empowerment, BIT has helped many young persons who, when they started the program, suffered from low self-esteem. First, he said the facilitators had to change the participants' mindset, then embark on remedial training.
Generally, the Board of Industrial Training have impacted life mainly through skills development, skills training. However, what we would have realized that a lot of the individuals who come to us for training, especially those who are engaged under the National Training Project for Youth Empowerment, a lot of them have been told things that are not true about themselves. So we would have impacted their lives in that we would have helped to improve their self-confidence. Many of these young persons, and it's one of the critical thing about the National Training Project for Youth Empowerment, the board made a decision a few years ago to have remedial tech work training at several of the technical institutions around the country. What we would realize that several of the individuals who would have gained entry into the regular programs of those institutions was as a direct result of the National Training Project for Youth Empowerment. Many of them were unable to gain entry into the institution, but the National Training Project for Youth Empowerment was used as a remedial tech work training. And so that is one of the achievements of the Board of Industrial Training, being able to implement the National Training Project in such a way that it can be a remedial tech work training that will lead persons into the more formal programs in these institutions.
In addition to technical training, the government has empowered young people to take up leadership roles. The Youth Leadership Training Program, which commenced in 2015, has empowered a total of 1,200 young people from across the country. The training touched on areas including critical thinking, governance and democracy, and administrative procedures. Mr. Aaron Nelson, who was among the first batch of graduates from the Youth Leadership Training held at the Madawini Training Center, tells us how it has empowered him.
I became involved in youth work in my latter years in high school, and fortunately I was part of the first batch who was trained as part of the Youth Empowerment Unit Youth Leadership Training Program, and that sparked my interest to get involved in youth work. And I do not live in Sophia, but I'm doing work in Sophia, helping at-risk youth, underprivileged youth, and giving young people a second chance to get a secondary and tertiary education. I've been here for roughly 2 years, and it's wonderful to see the young people coming out. They're happy for this second opportunity. Classes are free, they do not have to pay anything. When they come, the only thing they have to do is attend classes regularly, perform well in order to write the exam. But as it relates to the impact, I'm happy to be part of this movement.
Mr. Nelson is now the coordinator of the Sophia Night School. Miss Melissa Blair, who is enrolled in the school, said that she stopped formal schooling to work after her stepfather died so that she could contribute to her home. She said that the school has given her a second chance to pursue her education, and she is elated.
Well, I was actually a teacher, nursery school teacher, and I quit my job to continue to write CXC because after my stepfather died, I didn't have a chance to write, but I dropped out of school to send my little brother back to school. And after I heard about the night school and I was working, and so it was a bit stressful, so I quit my job to just continue study. Well, the experience is great. I mean, the teachers, they're awesome. They help us. Sometimes they sacrifice even Saturdays to come out and teach with us. Sometimes they'll go like extra hours just to get things right and make things done.
Another participant, Miss Melinda Reed, says the class motivates her to achieve her dreams.
It motivates me, and it helped me in a lot of ways to become a little bit better, because being not doing anything, and then from when I had wrote the CXC, I didn't do that well. To me, I had to just show everything in a corner, but it is motivating me and helping me to become a better person and helping me to go forward to achieve my goal and my dreams.
Youth is a valuable resource to be developed, and as a result must, among other things, take priority in the agenda of any government in its path to national development. This is a reality that is embraced by our national government and is evident in the government's continuous investment in its youthful human capital. You've been watching Government in Action. I'm your host, Shaquille Williams. Do have a good rest of the evening.